Disney and Moana fans rejoice. Moana 2 just joined the $1 billion club this weekend, grossing over $1 billion in the worldwide box office, joining Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. That makes the top 3 grossing movies of 2024 all Disney movies. Inside Out 2 takes the number 1 spot with $1.6 billion, Deadpool and Wolverine at $1.3 billion, and now Moana 2 just broke $1 billion. Disney has produced more billion-dollar hits than any other studio. The first Moana was a success with $643 million gross worldwide back in 2016. The follow-up to Moana was originally developed as a miniseries for Disney+. The series was supposed to be 5 episodes, but by February 2024, it had been reworked into a theatrical sequel. Moana 2 blew up in the theaters when it released with the domestic opening of $225 million. $100 million more than what Frozen 2 made in the years prior. I can't say that I'm too surprised given that Inside Out 2 made more than Inside Out 1, but Inside Out 2 was a better movie than the first one. If we compare it by audience scores, Inside Out 2 had a score of 95% approval rating versus Inside Out's audience score of 89%. Then you got Frozen 2 that made slightly more than Frozen 1, and Frozen 2 was worse than Frozen 1. But that might be a hot take for me. If we look at the audience scores for Frozen, 85% approval rating, while Frozen 2 had an audience approval rating of 92%. So it wouldn't be surprising that Moana 2 would outgross Moana, despite Moana 2's reviews not being as good as Moana 1. Moana 2 had a Rotten Tomatoes score of 61% fresh from 222 critic reviews, with an audience score of 86% approval, compared to Moana 1's 95% certified fresh rating from Rotten Tomatoes, with the audience score of 89% approval rating. However, some critics were saying despite all this Moana moaning, it's still a high quality piece of work. A hurtling Disneyland roller coaster ride that small children especially are bound to enjoy. The irony is that if it had been a television series, viewers might well have gushed about how spectacular it was. But as a film, Moana 2 wouldn't be near the top of any list of Disney's finest. But despite the poor critic reviews, the audience reviews seem to still really enjoy Moana 2, with some saying it's not as good as the first one. The music is kind of mid, the character arcs aren't that great, but the kids liked it. It was very entertaining and funny. Now that makes me wonder how live-action Moana will do at the box office. Live-action Moana is coming out in July of 2026. Isn't it kind of too soon to be doing a live-action Moana 1 when Moana 2 just came out not too long ago? Are the audiences ready for more Moana? Do we really need to see The Rock as Maui live? I guess the bigger question for Disney is if live-action Moana can join the billion-dollar club. Those live-action remakes are a mixed bag. You can have huge successes like Lion King and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, or some failures like Dumbo. Looking ahead, Disney's next $1 billion hit would probably be Zootopia 2 and Avatar later this year. What do you guys think of Moana 2 joining the $1 billion club? How do you think the live-action Moana will do? Let me know in the comments.
I feel so alive! Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching-a-ring.